In the heart of Azania, a mystical realm nestled between the great rivers of Zambezi and Limpopo, stood the kingdom of Kayambura. For generations, the kingdom had prospered under the wise rule of its monarchs. However, a dark tradition had taken hold, passed down through the ages like a cursed heirloom. Every year on the summer solstice, the king would select 7 young virgins from the village to be sacrificed in a ritual to appease the ancient gods and maintain the kingdom's power. The villagers lived in fear of this day, knowing that their daughters might be chosen. The king's advisors would whisper to him the names of the girls, and he would nod in agreement, his eyes gleaming with an otherworldly intensity. The virgins, adorned with flowers and feathers, would be led to the sacred hill where the king would perform the ritual. The villagers would watch in horror as the king's guards carried out the sacrifice, the sound of drums and chanting filling the air. One year, a young girl named Naomi, daughter of the village elder, was chosen to be one of the 7. Her family was devastated, and the villagers whispered among themselves, wondering why the gods demanded such a terrible price. Naomi, determined to save herself and the others, sought out the wisdom of the village's elderly wise woman. The wise woman, knowing the king's dark secret, revealed to Naomi that the king's power was not from the gods, but from a dark sorcerer who fed on the life force of the young virgins. The sorcerer, bound to the king by a pact of blood and shadow, demanded the annual sacrifice in exchange for the kingdom's prosperity. Naomi, armed with this knowledge, devised a plan. On the night of the solstice, as the king prepared for the ritual, Naomi confronted him, revealing the truth about the sorcerer. The king, torn between his ambition and his humanity, was faced with a choice. In a surprising turn of events, the king chose to defy the sorcerer, refusing to carry out the sacrifice. The villagers, emboldened by the king's decision, rose up against the dark sorcerer and banished him from the land. The kingdom of Kayambura was forever changed, and the tradition of sacrificing virgins was abolished. The king, freed from the sorcerer's grasp, ruled with a newfound sense of justice and compassion. Naomi, hailed as a hero, became one of the king's closest advisors, helping him to guide the kingdom towards a brighter future. The story of Naomi and the king's bravery spread throughout the land, a testament to the power of courage and wisdom in the face of darkness and oppression.